A very good evening and thank you for joining us in the newsroom. My name is Joshua Poro. It's a Monday, a day popularly hated by so many people because they do not want to go to work. But I assure you, I'm very happy to be here with you tonight. Let's have a look at the top stories in our newscast. Rosa Whittaker grilled over her role in the standard gauge railway deal. Police warns against walk-to-work campaign. Hunting for votes in bars and homes ahead of Busia LC5 by-election, while Lands Minister to enroll over 500 land experts. Now, welcome back. This is the newsroom. While as most parents are grappling with the January blues of finding resources to take children back to school, some politicians are indeed hatching a different agenda altogether. Intelligence sources indicate that some political operatives are planning to relaunch the walk-to-work protest as those which disrupted urban life, caused criminal vandalism and looting of merchandise in the city. We have details to this story.
Police have issued a stern warning against participating in any walk-to-work campaign, which, according to intelligence, is scheduled to start on Thursday, the 15th of this month. At the weekly press briefing held at Naguru Police Headquarters today, it was disclosed that police is ready to take on the walk-to-work activists now that they have a law to back their actions in place.
Now that we have the law that fully empowers the police to take charge of the public safety, maintain law and order all the time, I don't think their project will succeed. We not even see the light of the day. The project they are trying to reintroduce is not going to see the light of the day.
The walk-to-work campaign was launched by the Political Activists for Change, a non-profit organization, on the 7th of April 2011 at Fairway Hotel. The campaign was launched against the rising food prices and deteriorating health care in the country. It was composed of opposition party presidents, former Forum for Democratic Change Kizza Besigye, Democratic Party's President Norbert Mao, Uganda People's Congress Olara Otunu, and former JEMA Party President Chibirige Mayanja, opposition party MPs and civil society organizations who walked from their homes to their workplaces on Mondays and Thursdays each week. In Kampala, the demonstration spread to Gayaza, Kasangati, Ntinda, Masaka, Jinja, Mukono and Gulu districts. The police operations commander, Andrew Felix Kawesi, has warned political activists against resuming walk-to-work campaign.
So if they don't follow the law, they are going to be charged within the new law, and we shall make sure that the law works this time. It is still virgin, it has not yet worked well.
Meanwhile, in the latest development, traffic police have collected a fine of over 5 million shillings in a two-day operation from motorcyclists in the city for failure to abide by the traffic rules and regulations.
This has started and it's mainly in Kampala Metropolitan, and a lot of money so far has been collected to the tune, I think, of 5 million. In the few days they have conducted it.
Police says it will continue targeting cyclists carrying more than one passenger and those without helmets, permits and proper documentation. Police statistics show that border accidents claim at least 500 people in Uganda every year, while other 1,200 get seriously injured. This report was compiled by Shamim Saad and Kasfa Natale for TNR.
Now, candidates in the Busia LC5 by-elections have resorted to hunting for votes in drinking joints and private homes, saying that these are the places where the real votes are to be found rather than the traditional campaign and rallies. Wanyama Oundo, the NRM flag bearer, has resorted to door-by-door campaigning strategy, while the DP candidate Deogracius Njuchi has moved to resting places, including bars. He wants to reach people of all kinds.
While in Buyanga Sub-County, Buwembe Trading Center, Wanyama Oundo, the NRM candidate, warmly moved door-to-door making his campaign. NRM members say this is the only strategy to grant them victory to LC5 chairperson.
Nina Vergezi aviri mumukaga zikola sub-county parties zinya. Kade chikulu chendiko emirikanzi mazi. Kakati njize wansi ground. Vergezi na vikenti njogera navo nyumba ku nyumba labira ddala nti NRM party ewangula kisobole okulabika nti tefuna mutu.
Wanyama has been joined by NRM leaders like the newly appointed top NRM office bearers like Richard Tudwong, who also vowed to achieve victory in these campaigns. Tudwong urged the NRM supporters to remain firm despite the intimidations from the opposition party members.
Understanding the messages they are trying to sieve, because the opposition came with a lot of lies and intimidation and all that, but we are explaining to them and they're understanding really. So with the issue of the message, they are understanding and they're appreciating the government for what it has done. Even our candidate, they do appreciate the candidate. So with the message and the campaign, it's getting better.
The DP flag bearer, Dewo Gracious Njoki, has moved to Malwa selling centers in Masinya Sub-County Hadodo Training Center, saying that people in these places are the true sources of votes. He promised to better the education services in the area.
We have had information also from our desk that NRM is claiming that we have dressed some of our youths into yellow t-shirts and they are beating around people. We can't do this, and this is not happening. We in the Interparty Cooperation, where the IBC, the FDC, GEM and other people are working together, we are very confident we are going to win this election, and we can't allow anything that can come and distract us from this path.
Campaigns end on 18th January 2015 and elections are to take place on 22nd January 2015. President Museveni, the chairman NRM, is expected to close the NRM campaigns, and different opposition leaders from Kampala are expected to close the campaign for the DP candidate, also inter-party coalition candidates.
Now a day has been set aside to remember the late Archbishop Janani Luwum, who was killed on 16 February 1977 in Kampala following a period of tension with President Idi Amin. The commemoration day was launched by the St. Janani Luwum Memorial Charity Organization, patroned by the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Stanley Intagale, this morning at the Namirembe Cathedral.
The commemoration day was launched by the St. Janan Luwum Memorial Charity Organization, patroned by the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Stanley Ntagale, this morning at the Namirembe Cathedral.
The church in Uganda, as well as the global church around the world, has recognized Janan Luwum as a matter for the Christian faith.
Archbishop Ntagale said the project was being led by a team of dedicated leaders coming from various sectors and religious affiliations in the country. Among them, board members led by Professor Emmanuel Tumusime, the ambassador of the memorial project, Dr. Olara Otunu, other members like former Prime Minister Sir Apollon Sibambi, Prime Minister Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, Dr. Magi Chigozi, Honorable Miriam Matembe, among others. The ceremony to launch the commemoration day of the late Archbishop Janan Luwum was not without color and excitement, as the congregation took to dancing and singing, with even government officials taking part. Speaker after speaker spoke in praise of the life of Janan Luwum, with family members expressing their fond memories of the late hero.
A function for all Ugandans to remember the life of this great man, to even see what more can be done to immortalize his works and his life, and also emphasize is the ecumenical nature of the service.
St. Janan Luwum was born in 1924 in Muchwini Central War in the Nile Valley. He was born to Elia Okello and Irene Achiro Okello of Pajong from the Chua clan. He trained in Buwalasi Theological College and was ordained as a priest. The first worship and thanksgiving service and celebration will be held at Wigweng St. Janan Luwum Ancestral Home and Birthplace. Report compiled by Sarah Chisachi.
Now, with just a month left to the deadline of the Millennium Development Goals, many countries, including Uganda, have failed to achieve the 2015 targets, and the United Nations has now resorted to launching new and revised targets that have been named Action 2015. Here are the details.
Uganda will join the rest of the world to launch Action 2015, which will usher in a new era of sustainable development goals. This approach has been necessitated by the failure of many countries to achieve the Millennium Development Goals.
The whole idea is for citizens to contribute their ideas and ensure that their issues, aspirations and concerns are taken into consideration in the new set of development goals.
The deadline for Millennium Development Goals is September this year, but Uganda is among the countries that have failed to meet the 8 set goals. Some indicators like maternal mortality have actually gotten worse.
Goal number 6, which was about combat HIV, AIDS, malaria and other diseases, have halted by 2015 and began to reverse the spread of HIV and AIDS, that we went in reverse. Remember the previous period, it was 6.4, now it's 7.3.
Universal primary education and minimizing poverty are the only 2 MDGs that Uganda fairly attempted to meet. Before setting up the Millennium Development Goals, Uganda's maternal death rate was at 16 women dying in labor each day, but currently they have increased to 18. Other countries like Somalia, Southern Sudan, Sierra Leone, among others, were affected by domestication policy.
There was that very low levels of ownership that accelerated with high levels of corruption led to the failure in many countries.
However, others like South Africa and Ghana achieved a couple of goals and tremendous improvement in lifestyles.
In terms of reducing hunger and as well as settling the poor, South Africa was the overall best. Construction of over 5 million houses to the people or at a free cost.
In the new campaign, countries have listed 17 sustainable development goals, where every country will be given a deadline. In this approach called Action 2015, which will be launched on Thursday this week, Uganda is to focus on all children within 15 years as champions of community sensitization.
The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Daudi Migereko, says the ministry is currently hit by a shortage of land experts to ably handle increasing cases of land wrangles. Migereko notes that as a result of these, disputes cannot be handled in time despite efforts by the ministry to roll out the land title computerization system. Here's more.
Land is precious and a delicate issue to handle here in Uganda. However, in the wake of increasing land wrangles, either because of faster industrialization or urbanization, the organization mandated to streamline it says it cannot efficiently run the affairs.
If we sat and planned together and kept one another informed of what the other is doing, these problems will be history.
The minister discloses that currently the ministry is short of land surveyors, planners, architects, as well as backed up manpower to handle computerization of land titles.
We would like to move faster, but we are constrained. My view is that we need to have debate on this matter and find a solution to the problem of land for investment, land for strategic issues, and so on and so forth.
Although it was instituted to ease access of land for investment purposes, the minister says the current Land Investment Act slows decision-making as it attaches more powers to the owner over government.
We need to establish real estates. We need to establish housing estates that are in line with the present planning arrangements in the cities.
However, former Lands Minister Tarsis Kawejere challenges the ministry to increase land registration, which currently is at just 20%.
I'm informed that currently only about 20% of Ugandans' land is registered, leaving the remaining 80% neither registered nor recorded. I want that to be underlined because that is, I think, the biggest challenge that the ministry must confront.
So with 80% of the land unregistered and a slow computerization process of land titles, it's incumbent upon every citizen to safeguard their land titles as government moves to enroll new staff to address the land wrangles and design good working strategies.
Now, who are our children likely to tell their problems? Is it to us or to their friends? Well, Samson Kasumba is coming up with that discussion on the full briefing. Don't go away, and this is the newsroom.
Urban, it starts here.